Hello EFD squad and welcome back to a very hastily thrown together UCL review. We're in a bit of a rush today because Joe's got to go out and buy a suit, is it? For his sister's wedding. He's had the haircut, now it's time for the apparel.
Can the suit be as bad as the haircut? Probably not.
It looks better than yesterday. You had a bit of an emo fit.
I know, mate, it was all over the place yesterday. I'm thinking potential Hawaiian full top to bottom number. I've heard it rumoured that it would suit me.
You did don that in Goa. You look like one of those Americans in Narcos that dies like 20 minutes into
I've actually ordered a pair of Hawaiian Nike tracksuit bottoms, so they'll be coming to a screen near you soon for you to abuse.
I look forward to that. But let's jump straight into the results. I didn't put the tweet out, apologies. So these come from no one. They come from the brain, actually, of Joseph Tomlinson. So apologies if it's an absolute shambles. Manchester United versus Sevilla kick us off. I'm going to begin proceedings because it's still a little bit raw for you.
It is.
You were absolutely incensed on, what's it called, WhatsApp?
Fuming.
The old WhatsApp. MSN Messenger, he nudged me. Yeah, you crashed out 2-1, didn't you, at Old Trafford to Sevilla, who are chasing Europa League, Champions League football in La Liga. And your poor form continues in the UCL. Last time you got to the quarterfinals was in 2014, and that was under David Moyes, which I believe in his, what's it called, the message to the fans when he left, he picked that as the pinnacle of his Manchester United career.
Ever a banger away at Munich.
Yet to reach that Moyesy pinnacle in Europe. United's home record had you stood as firm favourites though, didn't it? In the whole of Jose Mourinho's reign at Manchester United, only Manchester City had beaten you at Old Trafford prior to this result. Sevilla defied the odds and became just the third side to score 2+ goals at Old Trafford since Mou's arrival. Now, they peppered your goal in this game.
As usual.
I mean, yes, David De Gea has been under fire this season. It's gone a little bit unnoticed, but in this game, it was clear for all to see. Sevilla had 22 shots, the most of any side at Old Trafford since Real Madrid in 2013. Is that when you went down to 10 men?
I actually can't remember. I think that's when Nani got sent off for kicking the bloke in the chest.
Yeah, Real Madrid wore that gorgeous regal green kit.
Ronaldo scored.
And Modric scored a banger as well. Now, that's pretty crazy that they had 22 shots, given how average this Sevilla side have been going forward this season. Domestically, scored a few against Liverpool, but they've only scored 36 in the league this season. Their top goal scorer is Ben Yedder, who came on in this game with 6 goals. And to be fair, he looked like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his prime when he came on. Absolute super sub.
Ridiculous.
Sent you for a cone of chips. I'm going to leave it over to you now for a bit of rants and bants.
Oh, goodness me. I don't know where to start, really. I'm highly emotional, so I'm going to try and remain calm because I don't want to throw my toys completely out the pram after a result like this. And let's not forget that Sevilla did stick 5 past Liverpool over the course of 2 legs, so they are no mugs, are they? Especially in Europe. But we had to attack them more than we did. Their defence is not good. I think on 4 or 5 occasions this season, they've conceded 5+ goals to Betis, Spartak, Atletico, the likes of Real Madrid, and United mustered 1 over the course of 180 minutes. This is a side that's got a -6 goal difference in La Liga. 1 goal over 180 minutes is not good enough. We look so nervous going forward, so restricted. Our midfield selection, I did not understand. Marouane Fellaini, why is he starting in arguably our biggest game of the season when he's been consistently injured for the season? And at the expense of Scott McTominay, who is in the form of his life, was brilliant against Liverpool. And the balance went all over the place. We also dropped Juan Mata for Jesse Lingard. Juan Mata is in great form, fantastic at sort of picking pockets around the edge of the area and just finding that killer crucial final ball. He moved Rashford from the left, where he scored 2 on the weekend, got man of the match to the right to accommodate Alexis Sanchez on the left. I don't understand Jose's aversion to playing Sanchez on the right or even dropping him altogether. He's not been in good form. We were just so tepid going forward. It was like we were happy with the 0-0. It showed how poor the result was in Sevilla. Defensively, we look weak. In midfield, there's nothing there. We're just effectively going back to front, lumping the ball up to Big Rom. Thank God for him, because he is kind of the last shining star of this side at the moment. He's been brilliant for the last couple of months, continues to score goals. He got his 200th goal against Sevilla. He's only 24 years old, that's a hell of a record. And he's really improved his game since Christmas, really, since late November, actually. He's making a lot more runs into the channel, far better at holding the ball up, far better in interplay and linking with the midfield. So, positive Romelu, the rest extremely negative. I personally think Jose got it horribly, horribly wrong in this game. What do you guys at home think? Was it Jose's fault? Was it the players' fault? And can Paul Pogba pass onto the pitch to a teammate? Because he came on for 10 minutes and must have completed 4 passes. Come on. The next game we're going to look at is the big one from last night, Barca versus Chelsea, youngster.
Yeah, watch this on my sofa.
I didn't.
Mobile phone, because don't have BT on the Skybox. Got a dairy milk with crunchy in it. Lovely.
Ooh.
Ate the whole thing.
I do like one of those. What, a yoghurt?
Out of shape.
A yoghurt?
A yoghurt?
A dairy milk
No, it was one of the chocolate bars.
Oh.
A big one as well, a family size.
I know the ones you mean.
Marf.
Broken up bits and crunchy.
Yeah, lovely. Highly recommend it. Anyway,
scenes.
moving into the football, because Barcelona crunched Chelsea, didn't they? Now into the quarterfinals after beating a battling Blues 3-0 at the Camp Nou. No surprise, as their home record is even better than Manchester United at this point, unbeaten in 20, which includes 18 wins. In that time, they've scored 59 and conceded just 7.
That's vile.
And this has become a hallmark of Valverde's Barcelona.
Yeah.
They just do not concede goals. And on the night, Piqué and Umtiti were absolute behemoths.
Love Umtiti.
Throwing themselves in front of everything. Umtiti has that knack of being there, right place, right time, getting anything on it. Lionel Messi, up to his old tricks, scoring his fastest goal of the season. The commentator actually said it was the fastest goal of his career. 601 goals. Quickest goal of his career. The guy breaks a record every time he plays. Coming into the first leg, he'd never scored against Chelsea, but he's turned up in a big way over the 2 legs, hasn't he? That's 3 goals. First one, a little bit speculative. Courtois should have done better. The second one, I got goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. That change of pace that we don't see as often now left 3 Chelsea defenders. Victor Moses is still eating turf somewhere in southern Spain. But absolutely brilliant. The second was actually his 100th Champions League goal. Only the second player to complete that feat, after Cristiano Ronaldo, who I think is on 117-ish, if memory serves me correctly. Ousmane Dembele also got his first Barcelona goal of the night. And it looks like he's put those injuries behind him now. He contributed in a really positive way. Marcos Alonso was absolutely doing him down the left at times. Marcos Alonso, I think, is exceptional going forward.
Yeah.
One of the best attacking left-backs in European football at the moment. Dembele looked tired. He got replaced eventually. Valverde made a couple of great subs. I think he brought Paulinho on. Iniesta came off relatively early, 55 minutes, but Paulinho came on, shored up that midfield, provided that link to the attack that was missing there before. I think Chelsea did well. They took Barcelona's fullbacks out of it. The fullbacks have been crucial to Valverde's Barcelona this season because they play very narrowly. Very narrowly. And Chelsea didn't allow Jordi Alba and Sergio Roberto to have that width. Sergio Roberto, what a lovely footballer. But Rakitic battled well. Andre Gomez has an awesome lid. And you're going to talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I didn't watch the entire game, caught the highlights this morning. I was actually quite impressed by Chelsea. They looked good from what I saw anyway.
Started both halves well.
Conte obviously said after the game he thought the result was a little bit harsh on his players. I actually think they hit the woodwork 4 times over the course of the 2 legs, so maybe a little bit unlucky. Obviously, Marcos Alonso with a thumping free kick last night as well. XG actually had the score down as 0.4 to 0.8 in last night's game, meaning Chelsea should have won 1-0 if you go by expected goals. But
Messi doesn't adhere to expected goals.
Messi doesn't adhere to expected goals. There were a couple of standout performances from Chelsea on the night, though. I noticed Kante was absolutely everywhere.
Yeah,
when I drilled into his stats a little bit this morning, it was outrageous. 95% pass accuracy, 3 dribbles, 12 duels, 8 tackles, 4 interceptions. That is superb for a central midfielder.
Really missed him in the first leg, didn't they?
I saw one turn on Busquets, which sent Busquets back to La Masia. It was absolutely fantastic. Willian as well, he's been in scintillating form recently, and he was great on the night. 7 dribbles, 2 shots, hit the woodwork as well. he adds a different dimension, I think, to Chelsea when they're going forward. I kind of feel like Hazard can, on occasion, be a little bit lazy on the ball, where I think Willian just consistently wants to drive straight at you.
I think he's a really underrated ball carrier. The speed in which he can carry the ball is frightening, and had Giroud read one of his passes better, I think maybe 1 or 2-0 down, Chelsea could have been back in the game, but
yeah, agreed.
not today.
But on the night, obviously, well documented, Thibaut Courtois didn't have his best game, was nutmegged twice. I thought the first one was a really poor error.
Yeah, also, I mean, Messi, the audacity to mean to do that.
Yeah, but that is at the Champions League round of 16 level. Like, that is a
his heart's in Madrid.
Maybe so, but he obviously came out after the game and said, look, as my height, I think he's 199 centimetres, so only 2 metres tall, one of the tallest keepers in Europe. His biggest problem is conceding goals between his legs. So if he knows that, he needs to be working on it in training because it's been a consistent problem this season. Yeah. Chelsea fans last night were saying this is not the first time it's happened where Courtois is getting beaten low between his legs.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think he sometimes flatters to deceive. I'd probably still put him in the top 10 at the moment, but nowhere near someone like David De Gea's level.
Nowhere near.
I put a tweet out last night. I want to know your thoughts on it. You did tweet, but I largely ignored it. If you could swap Willian for Alexis Sanchez right now, would you?
On current form, 100%, but I think...
No, I mean, you're not just on current form. You have to, obviously, have to keep one of them.
Overall, I think the deal we got for Alexis was very good. I think we'd have paid a lot more for Willian. I think Chelsea, especially as they'd sold us Matic in the summer, would have demanded a massive fee if we'd have tried to take Willian in January off them with their lack of forward options, with Morata injured.
Wouldn't be paying as big a wages though, would you?
Maybe not, but we'd still probably... I would say we'd probably still be paying him around 250 grand. He's on 200 now, so 250 grand, we're paying Alexi, what, 350, so, but then a 40-50 million pound fee, probably at least on top of that, and then Willian's agent's fees. I think he would have been a very expensive transfer. I'd love to have seen Willian at the club, but I think we can all agree when Alexi first joined, we thought that's a good move for £0.
Let's poll it. Who do you prefer, Manchester United fans, football fans? Willian or Alexis Sanchez? Let us know up there. Last but not least, we have Besiktas against Bayern. Joe.
Well, this was pretty much a foregone conclusion anyway, wasn't it? Obviously, Bayern thumping them 5-0 in the first leg, but it finished up 8-1 on aggregate, so not too bad if you're from Bavaria. Obviously, a lot of people thought Bayern were going to waltz this, but having said that, Besiktas hadn't actually lost at home in the Champions League so far this season, so they had a pretty good record going in, but were just blown away, blitzed. Bayern made it really easy. The game was basically won by the 46th minute when they went 2-0 up. They are a frightening prospect. I think they're potentially, alongside Man City, now my favourites to win the competition, I think. They're so good going forward. And they've conceded just 5 goals in the Champions League so far this season. Jupp Heynckes up to his old tricks yet again. He became the first Bayern Munich manager to win 11